my wife is going to take us through this roller coaster ride.
Full-blown downfall with the whistleblowers.
Is this organization called NXIVM?
He presented himself as a philosopher.
He's just a very bad-looking poster boy.
Are women having intercourse with him? Are they intimate with him?
Is this behavior happening in other companies also?
I think she was told to completely get undressed.
Oh,
All of them were involved with Keith Raniere.
what makes people do this?
Sex trafficking, racketeering, wire fraud.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. You must have seen what we're going to talk about in today's episode from the thumbnail. And to be honest with you, it doesn't even scratch the surface of what we're going to get into when it comes to NXIVM today.
So the story is completely wild. We just finished watching this documentary, The Vow, that completely unpacks the entire story about NXIVM, that started off as a self-improvement organization with these programs and then ended up being a crazy, abusive cult. So we will be going through the entire story.
Wow,
today.
I cannot wait. So I'm going to put myself in the passenger seat for today's episode because Ksenija has done all the research for us all. And I'm looking forward to it. I've heard quite a bit about the whole branding and all that crazy stuff. So I'm going to pose those questions to you, and my wife is going to take us through this roller coaster ride. Yeah. Right, baby. So where does this actually start? I understand, like you said, it was a self-help group.
Yes.
Started, what was it called again? Executive Success in the beginning?
So the original name was Executive Success Program. And it was started in 1998. The whole creator, let's say the mastermind behind it, was this individual, Keith Raniere, who got into contact with this woman called Nancy Salzman, who at the time was one of the first people to really get into NLP and the whole thing of
What is NLP?
So NLP
stands for
neuro-linguistic
programming.
Yes.
Right.
So NLP, essentially what it means is, because the brain is constructed in a way that all of our habits, all of our way of thinking is all going through these synapses through the brain, right? So NLP, in a nutshell, is basically reprogramming or rewiring your brain by creating new synapses with new habits, deleting limiting beliefs that you might have. So by creating those new synapses that have more of a positive impact on your life, the old ones start to dwindle away. If you, for sure, everyone has heard of, to establish a new habit, it takes minimum of 21 days.
Right.
Why they say it takes 21 days, again, is because for this synapses to be created in the brain and for it to be reinforced, basically for the brain to send impulses through them. And that's when, after 21 days, and then I think it's the next benchmark is 66 days or something like that, it becomes more and more natural to you to do a certain thing. And it can be some of the smallest things, like, I don't know, making your bed every day. So you start doing it after 21 days. 66 days, it's just going to come naturally to you. Without you actually saying, I have to go and make my bed.
Gotcha.
It will just come to you. So he partners up with Nancy Salzman. They started ESP.
When is this?
1998.
In the 90s?
Yeah. Like, he was really early on going through all of this and trying to take this off grounds. I think that's why he also got with Nancy Salzman, so that because she was also very approachable and she was very invested into
so
these things.
So this NXIVM thing, in some form or the other, has been operating for close to 20 years?
Correct.
Wow. Before, I mean, I'm saying 20 years because, I mean, they got caught in 2016, 2018,
the
right?
The downfall started in 2017.
Right.
The official full-blown downfall with the whistleblowers But there were people from the organizations from way before that were starting to sort of catch on what was happening. But Raniere was capable of keeping them all hush hush, or they were just not getting traction with FBI or any authorities to take this situation seriously. So anyway, ESP starts. They are renamed afterwards
Executive
NXIVM.
Success Program.
Yes.
Got you.
And they start very small. So it's just like these workshops. I think they were doing like a 1 day, 3 day, 5 days, or 15 days workshops. You pay, you come, you attend the classes, you like it, perfect, this and the other. They were not cheap. They would go from hundreds to thousands of dollars. But they started growing, right? Now, where it really sort of starts to blow up is around 2005, where they first get in touch. Nancy Salzman actually approaches this guy, Mark Vicente, who was a filmmaker.
Okay.
And at the time, he was really big because he did a documentary. He was really into physics. And he was really also into this, like, he had this self-mission. He wants to do good in the world. Not in the sense of he wants to be arrogant or anything. He just wants to do good in the world.
Right.
He was from South Africa, apartheid time of South Africa, so very difficult time of growing up. And I think his father was like a secret agent, so it was always very like a little bit tense, situation. So I think that's where he also, this urge of his came. And then he realized he can do it through movies because people love movies, and he can reach a lot of people. So he did this documentary. He was very famous for it. I think he won awards and stuff. Nancy Salzman reaches out to him and they're like, oh, we would like you to kind of come and join and sort of start doing movies or like documentaries about the organization.
Is this organization called NXIVM at this time?
Yes. This is already NXIVM at the time.
It's already changed to NXIVM. Okay, got you. What does NXIVM stand for?
They've never explained it, what NXIVM itself stands for.
Okay.
Like, it's not if it's an acronym, I never heard. Even in documentary, they never say it.
Got you.
Anyway, he joins. He does the classes. Falls in love with the thing. Then they start introducing this point of, okay, you can now also become a teacher. So now you had to take classes to become one of the teachers. They had a very strict hierarchy structure, and it's with like this satchels that you used to wear. So each color would mean something. And in this hierarchy, Raniere as the top is called the vanguard. And Nancy Salzman, as second in command, is called the prefect. She was called the prefect as a teacher because
She's called the vanguard?
Vanguard. Which the meaning of it actually is leader of a group of people, which later will turn out leader of a cult. But anyway, he's vanguard. Nancy Salzman is a prefect. Nancy Salzman believes in Raniere so much that she even brings her 2 daughters into the thing right after they finish college.
Got you. Okay.
One of them doesn't really gets fully involved. The other one does, Lauren. So Lauren Salzman also becomes very involved in the organization.
In NXIVM. Got you.
In NXIVM itself. Then Mark Vicente meets this lady, Sarah Edmondson.
Okay.
Who was an aspiring actress at the time, not really getting many gigs, wants to also, figure out her life, anything. He convinces her to come for one of the classes. She comes, she's freaking sold. Let's do it. This is it. This is what I want to do. And the 2 of them really, really get invested.
Okay.
And we're talking about people that have stayed within the organization at a span of 10, 12 years. They both end up meeting Raniere. Mark literally looks at him like, I don't know if almost like a father figure, but like really, you're my teacher. Whatever you have to say, give it to me. I want it.
Guru.
Exactly. Give it to me. So Mark, with Raniere, they start documenting everything. Every single conversation is recorded.
And when you say documenting, videography.
Audios, videos, notes, everything is getting documented. Sarah as well meets Raniere. Everyone is on board. They sort of form from my understanding, like a community in Albany.
Okay.
So that people that were really inside the community, everyone was living nearby each other. So it was really like forming. Both Mark and Sarah meet their spouses through these programs.
Got you.
So they both meet also their spouses. Their lives are growing. Everything is like perfect dandy. Mark's wife is her name is Bonnie. Sarah's husband is Anthony, but everyone calls him Nippy. They actually get married like through the organization. The NXIVM members are at their weddings. Keith Raniere is helping them write their vows. Like, it's a very family orientation. Coming close to 2015, 2017 is when Bonnie starts to sort of get suspicious of what is happening within the organization. And she is the first one to sort of start waking up.
Got you.
But she's in a difficult situation. Her husband is fully invested. Her husband, in the meantime, has become a board member of NXIVM. So it's not a very easy thing for her now to go to her husband and say, look, I think something really effed up is happening, when he's still so infatuated with Raniere. But she starts asking questions to Mark and asking questions and asking. She even has conversations with Raniere himself. And then slowly, Mark also starts get suspicious of things. But then Sarah has a situation that fully then blows it off. So what happened was, within the NXIVM, you had the ESP, which was the main company. They all call these companies. But then they started creating multiple companies under the umbrella of NXIVM, each dealing with a different aspect of behaviors or improvements. One was only for men, SOP, Society of Protectors. Then you have something they called Jeunesse, which was just for women, empowering women. Because Raniere also had this belief of women can really change the world and have a huge impact. So there were multiple these types of organizations within it. Depending what you're interested in, you can go and do those classes. But then something was created which was called DOS.
Okay. Baby, hold on. Do we know what Keith Raniere's background is? Do we know where he comes from?
What I know from... So in the documentary itself, they didn't show really his childhood or anything like that. He was always like a business type of guy. He did have a marketing company. This is what I understand. This is before NXIVM. But it was with some type of teaching of corporates, to do marketing, to do sales, to do this and the other. There was some flop that he wasn't paying his people salaries. So already there, he had a bit of a bad reputation that people were not really interested to deal with him. Again, a reason why now Nancy Salzman comes in, has a good rep. And there was actually one, I think, potential client that they were trying to bid, that they were like, look, Nancy, we love you. We love what you are presenting to us, but we don't want to deal with Raniere. So Raniere really had a bad reputation. Now, Raniere somehow gets in contact with Bowman sisters that were heirs to the Seagram Empire, which I think is a liquor company. Okay. Massive liquor company. So they were funding him in the beginning.
Got you. But so I understand that Nancy had a NLP background.
Yes.
What did Keith have? What knowledge was he imparting?
He presented himself as a philosopher, as an ethicist. And he's an ethicist. He represented himself as a genius, like a legitimate genius, that his IQ is insanely high. He also sold a story that he is in the Guinness Book of Records for something. He said that he had a black belt in besides karate. Can you have a black belt in anything else?
Have
judo,
belt in
whatever.
Anything. Yeah.
He said he had one by the age of 9. He said that he can play the piano on like the highest level.
So he would just say these things that I can do this, but no one was actually
Basically,
questioning.
yeah, I mean, from what I understand, no one was really going into his background and fully like checking, okay, what is really your IQ? Or he would say he would speak these many languages, but I doubt anyone ever heard him speak a word of anything else.
So, okay.
Maybe Spanish.
People like him, we've heard about so many such people like him, right? Who become like these leaders of people. And they claim so many things. I remember this guy, Jeff, might be butchering the story. Jefferson was his name. He also used to say that he's some, highly, intelligent guy. And he gets the knowledge from God, this, that, the other. There was one more. Well, Scientology is proof of all of this. What I want to get to. Nancy Selzman is a certified NLP, you can say teacher, practitioner, etc., etc. She has that, and she's been doing that for a while. Keith Raniere, he doesn't even have that knowledge, right? Not that I know of. You haven't said that he was an NLP teacher, right?
I mean,
how does he then become like a self-help or self-improvement guru?
That's I think why, for me and for especially with this documentary, of why this whole Keith Raniere's story was fascinating, because I think besides Scientology, he was the next one to really building this thing up. He was really building it up because he was able to actually have people have good results. You would have people that would come with phobias. They don't have phobias anymore.
But who is actually working on these people? Is it Keith or is it Nancy?
So it would be Nancy to start, and they would sort of then they were teaching other people how to do it. But these were never people that were medically trained. These are people that are not psychologists, and they're not also essentially NLP trained. They are trained by the curriculum that was created by Raniere together with Nancy Salzman. But they were getting repos with people. And Mark Vicente himself, he said, I had amazing revelations through this. His wife, Sarah as well, her husband, like everyone had these amazing revelation that was basically, they will come for a class, they will leave with this high. On this one that I think it's a multiple days course, everyone says on day 3 or day 5 is when you have a massive breakthrough, and everyone had a massive breakthrough. So it was very like intoxicating and appealing, but Raniere would not be present from the beginning. He's always somewhere, in the background. Then they will start like teasing people in the sense, you'll meet Raniere, or Keith wants to meet you. And this Mark himself, who is an educated man, he said, when I met Raniere, because he was asking to meet him, and everyone was like, it will happen soon, maybe. Then they said, okay, Keith wants to meet you. He's like, okay, cool. Like, you'll give me a flight ticket, because he was already in Albany. You'll give me a flight ticket, or what I got to book? No. Private. We have private, everything private. So private jet, private everything. So that's also giving him legitimacy that, okay, this is for real. He meets Raniere. He says we ended up talking for 4 or 5 hours. We were talking about physics. We were talking about history. I think Raniere was, of course, you must have some level of intelligence.
Right.
I think on a lot of things, he was self-taught.
In what?
I mean, psychology, physics. He was telling Mark that he was doing some his own mathematics that he was coming up with. Like, the guy had, I mean, that's what it was so, again, fascinating, that he was convincing all of these people. And again, people were getting results. Now,
Who created those programs, though? That's my question. Did he create those programs?
he is the main creator together with Nancy Salzman.
I believe it's Nancy who created those programs. I don't think it's him.
Maybe. To this,
Maybe.
I mean,
We talk about Jeffrey Epstein, right?
yeah.
The reason why Jeffrey Epstein became Jeffrey Epstein is because he was actually educated. He was a teacher. Now, I don't know how high of an education he had, but he was teaching in a university, right? He had mentors that were in economics. And through economics and through his study, he could understand other aspects that are either influenced by economic activities or aspects like, physics or scientific discovery or human evolution, etc., can influence economics, right? Hence, he was able to, and of course, he was also a big con man. He could influence people and increase his sphere of influence. But never have I heard that Keith Raniere was this charismatic influential figure who could, come into a room and just charm the whole room just by him speaking. I haven't heard that. I haven't heard that. You were saying to me that he would speak about physics and this, that, the other. I haven't seen anywhere where he's actually spoken to any actual scientist anywhere. So he would just I think, and I could be wrong. This is what happened. These individuals, they took these programs, which were not created by Keith, which were created by Nancy, and with help from others who were highly trained in NLP. These individuals who took these programs got results, and because this organization was made by Nancy and Keith, they wanted to create like an aura around him.
Correct.
So that they could sell these programs more, right?
Yeah.
It is created by this influential figure that is so brilliant and is a genius. Oh, yes, he will meet you, and then in creating that push and pull, that distance, so that you that it keeps building up, and then when you eventually meet the person, and even if he says a hi, it seems as if he's speaking cosmic knowledge. I think that's more or less what had happened. Because if you look, I think, and I could be wrong here again, there was some video speaking about Keith that he was not very intelligent from the beginning. He was not.
Well, he wasn't a genius.
He was not very well educated
average
either. He was delusional to a point where he would convince himself and hence others that he was a certain level of genius, that he could do certain things, and he had a very delusional view of himself and the surroundings.
No, 100%.
And hence he was able to do what he was able to do in terms of creating a cult. And I'm sorry that I jumped in like this, but it baffles me that educated, intelligent people, and I think the only reason why these people get influenced is because of whatever I just said. They got results. They saw like some opening in their like an opening that could have never happened. There's a revelation that happened in their lives which is life changing, and hence they want to see the person who's actually created it. But that person has not created anything. He's just a very bad looking poster boy. So yeah, I'm sorry to cut you short. Yes. So going back to,
Yeah. So what starts happening is,
you were saying Mark also seems to be finding out like holes in Keith Raniere's
so he was kind of like starting to maybe ask questions, but wasn't fully there.
Right.
But then what happens is Nancy Salzman's daughter, Lauren, and Sarah were actually best friends during this whole time. So Lauren approaches Sarah and tell her there is a new organization within NXIVM that it's called DOS. Anyway, the premise is it's created by the women members for women. And it's really amazing, and we're doing new things, and it's sort of like a secret society that we are creating, and you know, we can really like work on ourselves and yada yada yada. So Sarah was like, okay, I mean, her best friend is in it and it's promoting it to her. What is there to like doubt about it? So I was like, okay. But to get into it, to actually become the member of it, you have to give something called collateral.
Okay.
And this is already where things kind of start to become weird, because the collateral, it can either be your nude pictures, it can be you sharing a secret that no one knows that it's incriminating.
And who keeps these collaterals?
So it will be kept by your master, whoever is your master bringing you in. So in Sarah's case, that is Lauren. Lauren becomes her master. So she has to give collateral to Lauren.
This already is so shady.
Already.
If you're calling someone your master.
And trust me, like when I saw the documentaries and like Sarah, this woman, she's no like easy woman. Pushover. No, man, you don't want to mess with her. Like she's a strong personality, you know, assertive, educated, well-spoken. But again, it's her best friend. This woman was at her wedding. This woman, like Sarah at this point already has a child with her husband. Like this woman isn't part of her child's life. Like what is there to doubt, you know? So initially, Sarah's like, but I mean, I don't have anything. Like, I don't have secrets. I'm like, you know, pretty straightforward. Like,
you know everything about me.
Yeah, like what do you want me to do?
I'm an open book.
Yeah. She's like, I can just take some pictures of you. That's fine. But then like, I need something also more. So like, so what the hell can we do? So they came up, I don't know whose suggestion it is. I'm suspecting Lauren's, to sort of pretend that they're having a conversation, not knowing that they're being recorded, but they are being recorded, where Sarah is basically bad-mouthing her husband, but it's all made up.
Just so that they can give
so
like
an
extra
like collateral that is like legit, that she can get in. But she's really bad-mouthing her husband, that he's a bad husband, he's a bad father, he's
abusive father.
That's
what I heard,
like,
yeah.
Like really nasty. But still, the impression was, okay, I will give you the collateral, I'll be part of it. If I decide to leave at any point, you will just give me this back. Like, it's only with you. I know it's with you. You're my best friend. It's fine. If I ever leave, you will give it back to me. It's deleted, destroyed. No one ever sees it, right? So she gives it. She starts. Now, because you have a master, that means you're the slave. So your communication is throughout the day with your master. And you literally have to ask your master for permission for anything.
My question. Since there are multiple companies under NXIVM,
yes,
is this behavior happening in other companies also?
So,
like the SOP you were talking about?
So there was a premise that DOS was sort of created on the blueprint of the Society for Men. The program that they created is SOP.
SOP.
Yeah.
Society of Protectors.
Yes.
Or
so that they were
whatever.
using, but the SOP did not have a slave and a master type of thing, and they were not branding themselves or anything.
Any collaterals?
No, but there was a point like, I think there would be like a broadcasted message to everyone saying ready ? And then everyone says, yeah, we're ready. And there was a lot of physical stuff. They will do like these almost type of Navy SEAL type of trainings in the cold, running and this, but it was still sort of in the lines of normalcy. There was nothing crazy going on. But the idea was that initially the DOS was created on the blueprint of this, but for women, right?
But what I'm asking is, all these companies,
yes,
that were under NXIVM, only under DOS is all of this happening, not
correct.
under. Okay, I got you.
There were there was another organization, Jeunesse, which was also for women.
Right.
But it wasn't going to these levels of craziness.
Gotcha.
There were set of rules of like, I don't know, wake up early and do this. Throughout NXIVM, there were expectations that were just getting more and more intense. But people were sold on it because they thought, okay, the more I do this, the more I can progress.
No, what my question is, I understand that.
Yeah.
I understand they are trying to condition people in a certain way, which is, again, very cultish. But what I'm saying is the dubious, disgusting behavior is only under DOS.
Yes, this is
Okay.
where it started. So where it really gets freaky, the initial conversation was that all the members will get a tattoo.
Okay.
And that's sort of like a sorority type of thing, and then we'll connect them and blah, blah, blah. So they're like, okay, fine. I mean, a tattoo, not a big deal. So it's a huge ceremony. You're supposed to come to this house. So Sarah goes there, again with Lauren. She's immediately blindfolded. She's brought into a room. I think she was told to completely get undressed.
Fully naked.
You're blindfolded. She realizes as she was put to sit down on the ground that there are other people there. And I think they were told to, at one point, all of them to take off their blindfolds. She takes them off. That's when she sees other women that she recognizes. And they're like, okay, so now we're going to brand you. And I was like, what? No, it's a brand. And there's a full explanation of what the brand represents. It's like a mountain and a river. It's lines. Like literally lines, and this is a mountain and this is a river and this is what it means, and I don't know, whatever. She goes through it, right? Mind you, it's in your like almost private area.
Next to your genitalia.
Yeah, pretty much. She goes home, and then of course, I think when the adrenaline goes down and you're now actually like allowed to think for a second, the next day she's completely like, what the hell
happened?
Yeah, what happened, and what is this? And she has her conversations recorded with Lauren, and where she's fully asking, like, Lauren, you never told me this. Like, I'm not into this. Like, how, first of all, how am I going to explain it to my husband?
Right.
What is this on me? We're not allowed to say anything to anyone. But how am I supposed to hide this? Like, what is it? At some point, Sarah does decide to step out of it from DOS.
They could do that?
Technically, they were allowed to do it, but now she's coming to Lauren and say, okay, give me my collateral back. I want to leave. I'm out. You guys do whatever you want to do, but I'm out. Give me my collateral back. That's when Lauren tells her, I don't know where it is. She's like, well, isn't it with you? She's like, well, yeah, but no, but you said like I've said some messed up things. I need these things back. And that's when Sarah also starts figuring it out, okay, this is already becoming fishy. But the big explosion happens when someone tells her, did you really look at the brand that you have on yourself? Well, what do you mean? She's like, if it's like this, she's like, look at it like this. And she turns it. And she realizes that it's actually initials, KR. And she goes,
Keith Raniere. Holy shit.
He goes ballistic. She goes again to Lauren. Lauren, what is this? I have his freaking initials on my body. This was never told to us. What is this? What is this? What is this? No, but it's not. She's like, no. Then Sarah realizes, if you look at it again the way that it was done, you will see other set of initials, AM, which is Allison Mack. Now, Allison Mack was also a very good friend of Sarah Edmondson, and Allison Mack is famous from the TV show Smallville. She also joined NXIVM. She also started, going through the courses and everything, and became a teacher, and even had one small organization on her own within NXIVM and everything. But there was always a weird infatuation that Allison Mack personally had with Keith Raniere. So when they figured this out, the suspicion started. This was actually started by Keith Raniere with Allison Mack, DOS. DOS, by the way, the acronym actually stands for Dominance Over Slave.
My God.
And when all of this came out, Sarah was completely out. She ends up, getting the courage to tell her husband. Now, her husband is a former football player. He grew up very, macho man, protective of your family, your wife. So he's also like, whoa, no, this doesn't fly. So they're out. That's when Sarah also now tells Mark Vicente, who has no idea the DOS even exists.
Wow.
Bonnie knew, but Bonnie was not part of it. She was never invited into DOS because she had issues with Allison Mack. So she thinks that that's the reason why she was never even approached to become part of DOS.
Got you. Okay.
Then, because these are Keith Raniere's initials, the question is now becoming, what does this mean? Like, are women having intercourse with him? Are they intimate with him? That's when it's coming out that most probably Allison Mack is, most probably Lauren Salzman is, and then all the other
DOS
women
members.
It came to an idea that the DOS was basically a group of women that were actually getting groomed and prepared for
Keith
the
Raniere.
vanguard, Now, Keith Raniere, he does get asked about DOS directly. He says, I don't know anything about this. I am not part of this. I did not start DOS. If this is what the women want to do, women can do it. So he was very good in also creating stuff, deflecting, but also creating stuff that directions are not coming directly from him.
People are just making their own.
People are doing that with his ideas, but he's not saying anything. His name is not on anything. You guys decided this on your own.
Right.
No one put, really tied you down and did this against your will.
Right.
You kind of agreed to it.
Right.
But the problem is that nothing was ever fully disclosed. Yes, Sarah Edmondson agreed to a level to get branded, but she was not told what it is or what it stands for.
Right.
So the four of them basically decide to leave. But they also decide, okay, we're going to blow the cap on this thing. And that's when they started fully investigating everything.
Okay. Right.
And that's because now once they're out, they were being approached by former members. And that's when another layer of stories started coming out, because every person who left the organization, they were blackballed by Raniere. And everyone within the organization, okay, this person is an enemy. We cannot speak to this person. I'm scared of this person. They can do whatever to me. But they started talking to, and these were almost, most of them women that left because they started realizing that something weird is happening.
Right.
Down to the point that before the Mark Vicente time in NXIVM, the board of members in NXIVM were all women. And all of them were involved with Keith Raniere intimately.
So all the way back to 1998?
All the way the first board of members that he had were women that he was having some type of intimate relationship. Most of them knew about each other. Some of them had no idea. Some of them thought, I have a legitimate relationship with this man. One of them being Barbara Boucher. Barbara Boucher met Raniere like a normal human being. I think, somewhere like that. She got into this thing. They had a relationship. She legitimately thought that she has a full-blown, real relationship with him. He just told her, don't tell anyone because you are a board member, so that you don't want people to think that you're on the board because of me and our relationship. So she didn't share. But people knew. And there were other women involved. And when she found out, she approached her. She's like, are you having relationship with other women? To which he acknowledged, but he spinned it up. But now you're a problem. Why are you bothered by this? Why are you jealous by this? Do I like almost in the sense like, do I belong to you?
Gaslighting.
Exactly.
If it's coming out that all of this has been happening since the very beginning.
Yes.
Nancy didn't know about this? Nancy didn't know what was happening in the background?
See, I feel like
Nancy involved as well?
There's a lot of stuff. I do believe to a certain level she did not know some of the things. I do believe that there are a lot of things that she did know that she was not disclosing. Because the second season of that documentary, so the first season is all up to the point of Raniere's arrest.
Right.
Second season is now all of them going through trial. Now, there were legal actions.
What all is he accused of?
Sex trafficking, racketeering, wire fraud. There was even because some of the women were taken into other countries.
Oh.
Yeah, because he was opening centers everywhere. And one of the main centers was in Mexico. So they would go to Mexico. So then there's also the trafficking and then, I don't think he was accused of any activities with minors, but there were stories coming out. So these were all on him. Nancy Salzman was for racketeering and I think conspiracy to commit fraud. So she was legally accused. Her daughter, Lauren Salzman, Allison Mack, the both men, the one that were funding him, they were also, but on much less charges, mostly on the company stuff, not on this stuff. But Nancy, all of them were basically advised by their lawyers, guys, like this is going down. You might as well plead guilty. We try to get some type of settlement. Plead guilty. What will help your case? Start disclosing this guy. Start disclosing everything that you know, right? So Nancy pleaded guilty, to which they said, okay, now, you might be needed for Keith Raniere's trial. So you will be sentenced after his trial. Lauren, surprisingly, became one of the key witnesses against Raniere. So the second season focuses on the trial period. And this is where Nancy was talking the most. She was most of the center of it.
Where is Allison Mack in all of this?
So Allison Mack, so she was sentenced for 3 years. In 2021, so she served her time. When she came out of prison, she did say that she was going through therapy during that time, and she realizes now that all of the teachings and everything was very wrong, and she feels remorse for whatever she does. But she lives a what I've read, a private life now. I think she's married. Although the rumors are that he's a former Nazi or something like that, into that type of things. I don't know. But yeah, she's completely out of it. But during her time there, like I said, she was very infatuated with him. Down to the point that he was controlling her weight. He was...
what?
Yeah. So this was a big also thing with Raniere, was the weight. So also, if you're a slave in DOS, whatever you want to eat, you have to ask your master if you can have. Master, can I have, 200 calories of this? Yes, you can. Then you're okay. Then,
wasn't Allison Mack one of the masters?
She was. So the idea was that you would have masters and then you would have a grandmaster or of some sort. So there was a belief that Allison was one of maybe the grandmasters.
Right.
Because she was basically instructed by Raniere to start this whole thing.
Right.
But then it was...
Then why such a small sentence?
Again, I don't know really or maybe she also made a plea deal, to certain things.
Gotcha.
Again, if she was a grandmaster, she may not have directly been doing stuff to people. She was just dictating. Again, you have to think of every single one of them as a pyramid scheme.
No, I understand.
There's no direct
Keith giving the instructions and onwards. But if someone is giving you instructions like that,
Yeah.
aren't you supposed to be like, no, I'm not going to do this?
You can always go with the premise, I was also his victim. I was also brainwashed by Keith to,
Do nasty to other people.
look at Jeffrey Epstein's scheme. His was, if you really look at it, very
Really?
intelligent, because he had
Stuff
young
on people.
girls. No, I'm not talking about
Huh.
people that were coming. His recruitment system. His recruitment system was, I have this girl. She comes. I'm doing stuff and taking her to other men, whatever. She's bringing other girls.
Yeah.
So a victim is bringing in a victim.
Yeah.
So that, I think that was also the methodology within this, because they were also always told to bring new people, sell the programs. Sarah Edmondson herself said at the end.
All of this stand right now.
So at the end, Raniere was sentenced to 120 years, which still to this day he's appealing to his sentence, but it's staying firm. Nancy, because of her plea deal, she was sentenced to 3.5 years. Her daughter Lauren, because she was a key witness against Raniere, she ended up getting a sentence of time served plus 5-year probation. So she didn't go in. Allison Mack, 3 years, and then the Bowman sisters, I think, close to 7 years, because they were with him. So pretty much most of them are all, besides the Bowman, they're still she's still serving, and Raniere.
Wow.
And he still has strong, there is still a group of people. I've checked. NXIVM as itself has not been fully dissolved, but it has been, I think, some way flagged or in a way disowned by the government, but they're not fully dissolved because he does still have a following of people. One of them also still being an actress.
With all of this, I feel like what makes people do this, of course, people want to do good.
Yep.
People want to improve themselves. Of course, that's a big thing, right? And then there's a need. There's a big need, which, people like Keith take advantage of. Every human being has this inert need to belong.
Yep.
And to somehow find a protective father figure who can guide you, nurture you, protect you, give you strength, through life. Life is tough.
Yeah.
Life is not easy. This is a lesson that is taught by so many actually enlightened people, Buddha being one of them. He clearly said life equals pain. There's no escaping it. You have to work on yourself. No one else is coming to work on you. No one else out there is going to help you. You have to help yourself. You have to work on yourself, on the inner self. Outer self is going to wither away and die. It's going to disappear. It's the inner self that you need to work on. And that is what people like Keith take advantage of.
Because if you look, let's say all the 4 main whistleblowers, these were never people of, first of all, these were not people that came, let's say, from trauma or any suffering of that kind. These were, people in their 20s, mid-20s, late 20s. That's when you're looking for a direction in your life. Well, okay, I'm not really happy at this, situation in my life. I feel like I'm searching for something more, like a meaning or some type of mission, my personal mission in this world and in my life. And they all felt that they have found this. They will openly say, we did not join this because we wanted to be part of a cult. We joined this because we believed in the good in it. And I do believe that there are a big number of people that had no bad experience with NXIVM or any of it, and had a very, beautiful experience and learnings and everything. But to like destroy it in that type of way, that is sad.
Destroy what?
The good that it had. There's one point in the documentary where Mark Vicente is going through his files that he had, and there was one like a war document, I think. It was literally a story that Raniere was coming up with the idea to make a movie out of it. And the premise is there is a teacher and a student. The student is thinking he's learning something good and learning and everything. But the teacher turns out to be a psychopath. And you can see in Mark Vicente's eyes, like this was, I don't know which year, this was way before they started realizing everything. And he's like, you SOB, you told me exactly who you were. And I didn't see it.
Yeah. And that happens quite a bit because you have all the faith in the world.
It's almost like he was testing. It's almost like he was let me put this story. Let's see. Like if he starts connecting dots, that means I'm leaking. My front is not strong enough. I think he was almost like testing the whole thing.
There are other personalities like this in the world. I can quote so many right now, to be honest with you. And if you are interested, I'm asking my wife.
Because for me, it's the psychology of it.
We can go in. We can dive deep into a rabbit hole, which
let's do it.
Is
get some snacks.
Yeah, but I want to close today's episode on a quote.
Okay.
And this is by one of the teachers that I really admired in the past, admire still. He has always, and I would say he's the modern day Buddha, right?
Okay.
He was made a head of an organization like this.
Okay.
I would not say it was an abusive organization, but it was an organization which was built on a premise of a supreme being, a guru that will deliver the human race. And he was taught and preached in the way of a philosopher from a very young age. And through different events in his life, he came to a realization that all of that is fake.
Okay.
All of what is happening around him, this organization being created, these people praising him, etc., all of that is nothing but ash.
Okay.
And he himself made a point to dissolve the organization in front of all the members. Said, I'm not doing this. His biggest quote is, truth is a pathless land. There is no one way to find the truth. To be able to have that kind of self-knowledge, self-awareness, to have all that power in your hand and then let it go. You need a special kind of person for that. So I will leave our audience and my wife with a quote from him. He said, "You yourself are the teacher and the pupil. You are the master, you are the guru, you are the leader. You are everything." And this is what people need to know. You don't need anyone else. You don't need a savior. You just need yourself. You just need to work on yourself. And I think there couldn't be the better end to this.
Absolutely agree.
episode.
And I think this is what these people realize, and that's what helped them to get out.
Yep.
And I kind of got like, to a certain level, emotionally involved, because this documentary was like from 2021, 2020, like really already like several years back. And after I finished, I was like, oh, please tell me like Sarah and Nippy are still together. Please tell me Mark and Bonnie are still together. And they are. I'm so happy for you guys. Because yeah, this can really, you know, take a massive toll on you. And I'm at least for these 4 people, if, you know, I hope others as well, but at least for these 4, I'm really happy that they got out of it in a better way.
And on that note, by the way, if someone knows whose quote I just recited, please write his name in the comments. I will tell my wife after we stop recording. I think that's it for today's episode. Yeah. Thank you for being with us, guys. Baby, thank you for parting this knowledge with us.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.